times when Gordon Ramsay was scared for his life. Believe it or not, there are times when Gordon Ramsay has been so scared that he was left speechless. Now, everyone knows Gordon Ramsay as a guy who shouts and curses a lot. And while we always see him as the badass boss that orders everyone around, there have been some instances where he was scared for his life. But what could scare one of the boldest men alive? Well, that's what you're about to find out. The hotel owner who refused to clean her own diarrhea. Everyone can't wait to check into a hotel over the holidays, even if it's just for a staycation. But this hotel that Gordon visited, honestly, it's the stuff of nightmares.
Damn!
Gordon walks into a hotel that's supposed to be a retreat for hikers and bikers. Instead, he's immediately hit with a bad smell. The whole place is filthy dirty, so he decides to do a swab test on a carpet to find exactly how bad the place is. For context, anything over 30 on the swab meter is considered a health hazard. So what does this carpet score? 803. Seriously.
803.
803.
How does a carpet even get to 803? It's like the carpet was actively trying to kill anyone who stepped on it. But wait, it gets worse. The owner, Karen, casually admits that she's had accidents on the carpet. And by accidents, she means diarrhea. And instead of cleaning it up properly, she just left it there. Ramsay's face says it all, a mix of horror, disbelief, and sheer panic. He's not just dealing with a dirty hotel, he's dealing with a biohazard zone masquerading as a business. Even more bizarre is the fact that not just Karen, but all the employees knew about this and no one cared. The rotten food freezer of doom. But if you thought the diarrhea carpet was bad, just wait for this one. Gordon walks into a restaurant and decides to inspect the freezer. Big mistake, what he finds is straight up horrifying. Bags upon bags of rotting crab legs, chicken, and dead lobsters. The smell? As you can see, Gordon's reaction says it all. He's horrified and genuinely concerned about how anyone could think this is acceptable. The owners, Michael and Balbina, walk in completely unaware of the chaos Ramsay has uncovered. When he confronts them, they're defensive, clueless, and shockingly still trying to justify the state of their freezer. The sheer negligence by these guys is enough to make anyone's blood run cold. The Bad Lobster that almost killed a customer. This next restaurant, however, actually put someone in a hospital. During an episode of Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon was trying to oversee things in the restaurant when a vegan customer complained that there was a bone in her soup. Gordon immediately goes to the kitchen and confronts the manager, John, about the bone. The guy stands there and straight up tells Gordon that that's how they do things. Absolute disrespect. Just as they're trying to talk about the bone issue, Gordon spots another customer whose friend is sick in the bathroom because they just ate the lobster tail. Gordon rushes to the kitchen and what he finds is beyond horrifying. The lobster tails are decomposing. When he smells one, the stench of ammonia hits him like a punch to the face. For those who don't know, ammonia is what is released when seafood starts to rot. It's not just bad, it's dangerous. But here's the kicker, the chef John casually admits that this is how they've been preparing food for 40 years.
That's how we prepare food for the last 40 years, and I don't see that being a problem.
40 years! Ramsay was full of rage and sheer panic. Gordon tells John that he could kill someone. The customer's pal is already in the bathroom, vomiting his guts out. The worst part is that the owners are completely unfazed. They're more concerned about defending their methods than the fact that they just served toxic seafood and lied about serving vegan food. The dead mouse. In another episode of Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon Ramsay walks into a restaurant and within seconds, he spots something small, furry, and very much dead near the front door. It's a mouse, a baby mouse, lying there like it's part of the decor. Ramsay, being the professional, calls the manager over. He tries to keep his cool, but the manager's response is what sends the situation into full-blown chaos. Instead of taking responsibility, the manager accuses Ramsay of planting the mouse for TV drama. Seriously? An argument follows, and as you can tell, no one is backing down. Gordon is furious, the manager and owner are both in denial, and the staff is caught in the middle of this absurd blame game. Gordon's voice is in clear disbelief as they think he planted the mouse. The owner doubles down, claiming they have an exterminator coming regularly. But here's the thing, if you need an exterminator that often, you've got a problem. The tension escalates to the point where Ramsay threatens to walk out.
You can take your restaurant and stick it. I'm gone. I'm out of there.
And honestly, who could blame him? A dead mouse at the front door is bad enough, but the owner's refusal to take responsibility is what really makes the situation terrifying. Restaurant owner living in denial. At this point, it seems many restaurant owners are living in denial. Imagine walking into a restaurant that's been around for 54 years. You'd expect it to be a well-run place, right? Wrong. Ramsay walks into this place and is immediately served a meatball that's older than some of the staff. No, seriously. The meatball was made 5 days ago, and it tastes exactly how you'd expect a 5-day-old meatball to taste. Mushy, bland, and downright disgusting. But here's where it gets wild. The owner, Nino, tries to defend the meatball by saying, "It's a matter of taste." Gordon's reaction is priceless. "That's not a matter of taste," he fires back. "That's a matter of health."
The meatball's soggy, bland, and just hideous with the salty marinara sauce.
Matter of taste.
Say that again?
It's a matter of taste.
The meatball is so bad that Gordon is practically begging Nino to take responsibility. But Nino, he's having none of it. The tension escalates to the point where Nino threatens Gordon. Yes, threatens him. Gordon, of course, doesn't back down. Honestly, the guts of this guy. The horrible restaurant owners who stole tips. Still, Nino's nonsense is nowhere near these restaurant owners. Gordon walks into this restaurant and quickly discovers that the owners are stealing tips from their servers. Yes, stealing. The servers work so hard and the owners pocket the tips for themselves. Ramsay decides to confront the owners, and what follows will shock you. The man openly says that his workers don't deserve the tips customers leave them.
What?
But Ramsay isn't having it. He goes straight to the customers and asks them if they'd be okay with their tips going to the owners instead of the servers. The customers were horrified. At this point, you can clearly see how angry Gordon is. The situation escalates to the point where one of the servers, Katie, quits on the spot. The owner, Amy, calls her a poisonous little viper and tells her not to let the door hit her on the way out. Ramsay, of course, is furious. These guys are straight up assholes. They have no regard for their staff, no care for their customers, and in fact, no care at all for Gordon Ramsay himself. It's total madness at this point. The head chef who fainted. In this episode of Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon walks into the restaurant and immediately notices something's off. The kitchen is chaotic. The menu is 150 items long. Yes, 150 items. And the head chef is nowhere to be found. When Gordon finally tracks him down, Brian looks like a man on the edge. He's exhausted, overwhelmed, and clearly at the end of his rope. The conversation starts off tense. Gordon asks Brian why he's not on the line cooking, and Brian admits that he's been doing everything the owner, Eddie, wants. But the thing is, Eddie has no culinary experience. None. He's just a guy with a dream and a menu the size of a novel. As Gordon digs deeper, it becomes clear that Brian is being crushed under the weight of this impossible menu. Gordon, for once, is speechless. He can see the pain in Brian's eyes, the sheer exhaustion in his body. And then it happens. Mid-conversation, Brian collapses. He faints right there in the kitchen. Gordon goes into full panic mode and shouts for someone to call 911.
Call 911, please, quickly.
Everyone is panicking at this point. The most annoying part of it all is that Eddie tries to blame Gordon for the stress that caused Brian to faint. According to him, everyone seems to be at their boiling point, as if Gordon's presence is the problem. Gordon, of course, isn't having it. He straight up calls Eddie out for overworking his staff. Honestly, guys like this have to be put in jail.